Disclaimer: under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Good evening and welcome back. I'm going to tell you a sad story. A 4-year-old starved to death at his home. How were the signs missed? The call came into 911. The ambulance pulled up to the Harlem apartment building, and the 4-year-old boy's skeleton frame was loaded into the back. The mother told the police she did not know how her son came to be in that condition, later described by authorities, looking like this: weighing 19 pounds, about the size of a normal 1-year-old, hair growing on his face, signs of long-term malnutrition, thinning hair on his head, matted with feces. By the next morning, on October 14th, the boy, Jahmeik Modlin, was dead. His 3 older siblings, 5, 6, and 7, also severely malnutritioned. Since then, there has been a steady drumbeat of horrific details from the police and prosecutors. A stock refrigerator turned to the wall to keep the children out. Childproof locks on the cupboard where the food is kept. A statement from Jahmeik's mother, Natava Ragsdale, 26, that for weeks he has been vomiting and then eating his vomit. The statement from his father, Modlin, 25, that he did not notice his son was wasting away because he was busy playing video games on his phone. The family has been on the radar of the city's child welfare agency, the administrator for children's service, on and off since 2019, before Jahmeik was even born. But ACS closed the last case with the family back in 2022, after determining that the children were not being mistreated according to the person who saw them from Children's Services. Jahmeik's parents have been charged with second-degree manslaughter and could face up to 15 years in prison. But the mystery remains: how was this allowed to happen? What chances to stop this might have been missed?
A 4-year-old allegedly starved by his own parents. His mother and father both arrested and charged. His 3 other siblings also in the hospital being treated for severe malnourishment.
Right now, other family members are rallying, blaming the city's children's services for not doing enough in this case. Eyewitness News reporter Stefan Kim has been following the story. He's live in Prospect Heights for us. Stefan.
Well, Bill and Sandra, the boy's father says his son was fed. The boy's mother tells investigators he must have lost weight because he was sick. And now, for the first time, we're hearing from other family members of that boy's mother. And they are blaming the city. And they're blaming the boy's father, claiming the mother was a victim of domestic violence. Naisha Ragsdale is Jahmeik Modlin's aunt, the 4-year-old Harlem boy who investigators say died of chronic starvation, malnutrition, and dehydration. This is video of his mother carrying him to EMTs the night he died. He was just 19 pounds. Cops charge his parents with manslaughter and endangering the welfare of a child. They have 3 other children, ages 5, 6, and 7, also severely malnourished and still hospitalized.
We wish to extend our sincerest apologies for the delay in our response. The gravity of this unforeseen situation has left us unprepared, and we are still coming to terms with its impact. We also wish to clarify that the family was not aware of the circumstances within the household. And in light of this, we respectfully request the time and privacy necessary to process the events as they continue to unfold.
Modlin's family is laying the blame on the Administration for Children's Services outside the agency's office in Brooklyn today. They say this is the fourth child to die in 3 months under Mayor Adams' administration after families have called on the city for help. They're calling on the State Attorney General to investigate ACS. It previously investigated Modlin's mother for malnourishment, but was unable to substantiate the claims.
She called ACS, spoke to the social workers, spoke to the Department of Education about the services that she needed and the strife that she was facing in her home, about the domestic violence that she was going through in her home. She stressed to me that she was crying for help and no one answered.
The boy's mother told investigators she was feeding her children and that she never limited their food intake. She believes Jahmeik may have lost weight because he had been sick and vomiting for months and couldn't keep his food down. She also told investigators that none of her children had ever been enrolled in school and that she does not take them to see a doctor unless it's an emergency. ACS says it cannot disclose details about this case, citing privacy concerns. We pressed family members multiple times on if or when they noticed any problems at home. They refused to answer any questions. Instead, the Reverend answered on their behalf, repeating that they were unaware. Reporting live in Brooklyn, Stefan Kim, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
Police say he was starved to death by his own parents. As Christine Sloan reports, the day started with a prayer service at the Reverend Al Sharpton's National Action Network in Harlem. Inside the National Action Network, the grandmother of the little boy overwhelmed with grief. Flora Jones comforted by her 2 adult children. Her attorney says she can't comprehend how her estranged son and the mother of her 4-year-old grandson could severely neglect him and his 3 siblings.
We're investigating this matter. What we're anticipating to do is to investigate to make sure no stone is unturned related to what happened to this family.
As I stated before, every child deserves parents, but not all parents deserve children. I have questions. Why did ACS not notice that these children were skin and bones? Where were the other family members? No one? No aunt, no uncle, grandmas on either side? Nobody knew what was going on? Rest in heaven, little man. Thanks again, everybody, for watching. Bye-bye.